Off the Ropes, episode 25. We're going to review the WWE Draft and preview WWE Backlash in France. We're going to we're going to start off the show with our tribute to our fallen tribal chief, and he removed himself from draft eligibility. That kind of makes things a little interesting later down the line to see where he goes with that. But hello, everyone. I'm Bret, your host of Off the Ropes. I've got the cast of characters with us, and who do we have today? We've got the Swaggy boss back with us tonight. We've got the professor, Matt Diggs, and we've got our newest character, guys. Dirt Sheet Brandon is here.
Dirt Sheet Brandon.
Oh man, welcome, fellas. It's how's it going tonight?
Going good. Well, I told y'all last podcast I'm going to be in a bad mood, and my bad mood has not subsided because I don't think we're getting quality television after WrestleMania. So I'll see what my colleagues think about all of this, but Backlash looks like we're back to fast forwarding and
this fast lane. It seems like fast lane Backlash might as well be one of those, right?
Right.
Brandon, what do you think? What are you thinking?
I mean, we'll get into it, but I'm doing good overall. So good being here with you guys. I'll watch it not live, but I'll watch it Saturday and we'll see. Well, they may surprise us, but we'll get into it.
All right, we're gonna start with the draft. I feel like I'm a professor like character when it comes to the WWE draft. I every year I'm like, okay, they're gonna make sense of this, right? It's gonna make sense. The new era of the draft. Same old stuff. You have old guys come out doing draft picks. You pick people that, why would you pick them? There's all these people available, and you take this person. Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. We'll get into it here. Let's just start with night one. I'll preface by I've watched night one. I haven't actually watched night two of Raw all the way yet. When you watch it with your kids, you kind of have to work around them, so it's harder for me to get it. But I have comb through this a little bit. Still doesn't make sense, but I'll let you guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it makes more sense, and y'all can convince me that it makes sense. But starting the night, we have pick number one overall in the entire draft, guys. Drum roll, please. The EST of a WWE, Bianca Belair, the number one overall pick. What y'all think about this one?
I think if your number one pick is that good, you should have a better slot on her in WrestleMania than a wasted 6-man tag team match as an afterthought.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Like, this is my whole thing with the WWE draft. Like, and you just kind of touched on it. It doesn't make sense. Like, we love drafts and we love wrestling, and people love drafts, and the WWE can't get it right. You have round one is 4 picks, round two is 4 picks, and there's only 2 entities. Why is there? It should be a round is 2 picks, and then your best person's not going number one. Like, okay, Roman took himself out. Well, who's number one? You're not. You haven't treated Bianca like she's the number one entity. She should not be the number one pick. And like, it just, as we get further in, just you see people go before other people. And it's like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why are we taking Odyssey Jones in the 5th round? We haven't seen the dude in 2 years. Like, we don't see that guy. Is he the next big prospect? Like, just different things like that. So,
Swaggy, what do you think?
Bianca number one does not make sense. The way 2 years ago you tell me that, and I was like, yes, I totally buy in. But how they're using her now, they're using her now like Kevin Durant is. You wouldn't take Kevin Durant number one in the NBA draft right now. That's what they're using Bianca like, an afterthought.
Swaggy?
I'm gonna say this, man. Can we get back to 2005? And I'm saying that because when we all were surprised when they said the number one pick and it was John Cena music hit, and we was like, wow, he number one. Like the draft is too predictable now. Like we know what was going to happen. Like we knew Cody Rhodes was going to switch over to SmackDown. We knew that because he's the champion of that brand now. We knew, like all the picks we knew was going to stay. Like we knew nothing's going to move, and I think it was just like Brandon said, get rid of it. It's dumb. It's the concept is. I don't know. It's not.
I would like it if they did it correctly. Like at least, how about we get NXT involved? Make NXT make a pick. Like why are we selecting NXT picks, but then NXT can't take a Raw or SmackDown pick? We've seen them kind of put some people on NXT. Why not put them in the draft? They're not going to move people they don't want to anyway. We see that. So why can't at least make NXT give them a pick? So you make a first round and give NXT a selection. You know, let them.
And then the ice on the cake, the two people that were selected from NXT, I was like, of all people, wow.
Well, let's go down this first round here. Next up, we've got the number 2 pick in the first round of the SmackDown draft goes to who? Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso. Now I'm a big Jey Uso guy, fellas. I love me some Jey Uso, but you're telling me you're taking Jey Uso over Raw's next pick in this round, Seth freaking Rollins? You put Seth as like you're the guy, and he's the 4th pick overall. That bothers me in this first round. I mean, I don't understand how that's the case. Now, I like the 3rd pick. It's a surprise. I like that. It's something different. It was this guy. It's somebody named Carmelo Hayes. Let's see if I can. Now,
whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
That's the wrong guy. Wrong guy, Professor. Wrong guy. That's the other guy. Wrong guy. He's already whooped that trick. He said.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm making the point that like they just jobbed him out to trick.
Yeah.
And yet that's our number 3
3rd pick overall of everybody in WWE in this pool, Carmelo Hayes. Now, again, if they did more of this, like surprise me, that's why I think NXT should be in there. What if NXT went up and took Seth Rollins, or they just improved their brand? Like I wish they would. I know it's developmental, and they're going to have some developmental players, but man, just they could do that kind of thing. At least it would give us like a surprise here. I mean, honestly, of these 4 picks, I mean, Carmelo Hayes, I'm not surprised he was drafted. He's kind of done everything he can on SmackDown at this point. They did the whole thing with him and Trick Williams. They played that out. They're going to get them separated. I'm sure they'll come back to that at some point. They're going to let Trick do his thing down there. But I just like the Seth thing bothers me the most. Like he's carried this company last year in and day out, and he was the 4th pick. I mean, I would want that guy on my roster, right? I mean, am I wrong here?
Okay, but so here's the thing: is what's one of our favorite things about drafts? The trades. When Adam Silver and them get up there and say, "We have a trade to announce," or the other day for the NFL draft, the Vikings trade up to get this quarterback. There's someone you want. So yes, SmackDown has the 3rd pick. But they want Seth on Raw because Becky's there. She's already there. She's champion. They want Seth on Raw. So, hey, Raw has the 4th pick. They trade up to get the 3rd pick, and they give up another pick later. Like, do things like that.
Well, the problem is they don't technically have a roster because, like, everybody's eligible. So they don't have anybody
you can
like
trade picks.
You could. That's the only thing you can trade. You can't actually trade.
Well, you can trade picks, and then you can trade it. You like
what if you
trade a champion?
What if you could lock so many picks?
What do they like the new teams that come in? expansion team, like expansion draft.
Something where you could lock some rock. We don't need, and then you end up with this. What do they call
Well,
it?
they kind of did. They kind of did lock this year with the champions.
They did.
Yeah,
But
they locked the champion.
that's usually the way it is.
No. A lot of times they draft the champion. This is the first year they haven't drafted the champion.
Yeah, they only draft the champions.
Yeah, I guess they did. But it's kind of like it's stupid to draft
swap belts.
The Raw champion's going to get drafted. I mean, they flipped the belts a little bit. I guess it doesn't matter, but I'd like them to be able to say, okay, here's because it makes it better too. For me, if you lock Seth Rollins, that makes sense, right? You don't want he doesn't need to be drafted. You want to lock him. But if SmackDown's like, hey, I got this pick right here, I'll give you this pick and this pick for Seth Rollins. Now I'm intrigued. You give up 2 picks to get Seth on your roster. I don't know. I like the idea of being able, like, that makes sense because Raw's like, hey, I'm gonna protect these guys. But if SmackDown offers me like a really good spot that I can go get 2 or 3 guys, then okay, maybe I give Seth to them and I get a couple of extra picks. That makes more sense to me. But like,
but all that really matters at the end of the day is, I mean,
go ahead.
I was going to say just the inconsistencies. Like you can draft Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, B-Fab, and all you get. That's what your one pick, or 8 people in the LWO, or
and that's what made me mad. That's what made me mad is
you could take 18.
That's what made me mad though. They drafted Chad Gable with the Alpha Academy, who he's no longer with. They drafted Carlito with LWO, who he's no longer with.
Are you sure he's no longer with them?
He with them still, but they slowly disintegrating.
I mean,
he's basically tossing them around now.
Either he or Dragon Lee's not with him. So
no, it's about Chad Gable. He bossing them around. Yeah,
Tozawa.
I mean, he left them, but
we're going heel.
He's about to be with the Creed.
Well, interesting. Just going over these round 2. Then you got Randy Orton, first pick of round 2. I'm fine. Randy Orton, that's a big name. I'm okay with that. Round 2. Braun Breaker, up and coming. Okay, that's I'm fine with that. Nia Jax. I mean, she's a big woman that slams people, but has she done anything to really like make me turn on the TV? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of her. Liv Morgan,
nope.
Kind of like Liv Morgan's kind of a big deal right now. She took out Rhea Ripley, so I mean that's not a bad pick. The one to me that sticks out is Nia Jax. I don't understand that one. I don't think she's ever won a belt. I mean, I'd love to see her join the Bloodline or something. Oh, she has. Well, that's how memorable it was, Swaggy. Honestly, just stick her with the Bloodline. Give her something to do. Like, make her character mean something besides just being that one that they put her in a battle royal and everybody tries to throw over the top rope. And I don't know.
Well, it's interesting you said that because she is the cousin of The Rock and the Usos and Solo and etc. So right. There's a good chance you might see her in the Bloodline. That's a good chance that might happen.
And Bret, I think the worst. There's lots of worse for me, but I just like they have 4 rounds and they announce them all at once, and then after the second or third pick, they have cutaways to the SmackDown War Room and the other room. You have your pick on the card already. They know, and they're all reacting like, "Oh, we didn't know." Like the pick is on. Like, how do you make a pick and you don't know what they're going to pick, but you got your next pick ready to go, and they got their 4th round pick ready to go for your 3rd round pick because like why are we even?
Hey, we got a chat, fellas. Looks like Rob's watching tonight. Think the draft has been kind of boring. Yeah, well,
stuff like that.
Hey, Rob, I'll be the first to say this to you. Dude, I 112% agree with you. Like, it was times that I was just like, get up and walk away or something, come back like, oh, they got him? I knew that. Like, yeah, it was boring. You're right.
And wrestling is a show that builds from the start to the end, and we're like at 9:45, and now we're drafting Blair Davenport and people we haven't even heard of at the end of the show when we're supposed to be doing main events, and we're like, who cares about this 23rd pick? like, what's my interest level in this thing at 9:45? I have
So
none.
what's y'all take on that second round? Or anybody else got any thoughts on that before we move to the third?
I'm just mad, Brett.
Just mad.
Yeah, I think we could just kind of do an overview. Yeah. Like, I don't think we need to go round by round because we're just going to get more mad.
Well, we'll move on then. Okay, I'll finish off Raw or SmackDown, and then
I'm looking at it by like who got what, like what shows got what, but like, and I'm looking like not so many people just didn't move.
Yeah, LA Knights and Bloodline, AJ Styles all stayed. SmackDown and Andrade, was he on Raw?
He was.
Raw, I think, because he was with the LWO and all that.
And he came in after the draft, so he was just kind of there. He was on both.
Well, now he's on.
He really was. Yeah,
he's on SmackDown now. And then you had Ricochet and Sheamus was drafted. I mean, he hadn't even been here for a minute, and I thought the promo that he did with McIntyre was hilarious the other night, where he basically called him fat. I was like, golly,
he did.
I mean, that was
burger after burger after burger.
That was funny.
I mean, then you've got Sheamus, Alpha Academy, Kiana James, which I don't watch a whole lot of NXT, but that's not the name that I knew as far as female superstar. Brandon, you watch more NXT. What's Kiana James got to give us on Raw?
She doesn't wrestle much. She's this rich daddy's girl character. She's had some really good stories in NXT. She's been a part of some good stories. She doesn't wrestle a whole lot, so I don't.
Right back, guy.
But she's had a lot of good stories, and so but a lot of love interest things or things like that. But I mean, I don't know what she is in the ring because we don't see her much.
Interesting. Well, then she sounds like she needs to be a part of a group or a
manager. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with her. So that's the SmackDown draft. I mean, you guys are right. They didn't do a whole lot. I'm interested to see so now they've drafted the Bloodline. Officially, Jimmy's not a part of it. I guess Paul Heyman is. I don't know. That's still interesting to me. They've done a good job with the Bloodline, as far as keeping it interesting for me. I'm intrigued on who's going to show up next. They've got to get them some momentum, though, because Roman Reigns was their momentum, and he is no longer there. So I don't know the last time I remember Solo Sikoa winning a match. It's been a while. He was like undefeated for the longest, and then they let him take a pin to Cody Rhodes, I think, and then ever since then he's kind of gone downhill. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. All right, let's move on and look at the Monday. This is the one I haven't really seen, so I don't know how that went, but we'll just start from the top. I mean, I guess Bianca and Jade must be the hottest tag team in women's wrestling because they were both number one picks. Now the Jade one that's got a lot of hype behind it, I get it, but they haven't really done a whole lot with her yet. I think they're just trying to get her in the ring. We'll see. We'll talk about their match when we go over Backlash here in a minute. But she was one. Then you have Imperium with two members now with Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser selected. I like that pick. I mean, Gunther's been one of the hottest things going. I mean, he's title contender right now. Then you've got, which I guess this is a new name, the Pride. Did you guys know that was their name?
They started doing that a couple weeks ago, but they never announced it. They just kind of started saying it.
It's written down on this. Lashley, Ford, Dawkins, and BFAB.
Hey, I will say this real quick. There will be another member added soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting there. CM Punk as the next pick in that second round. We had, I'm sorry, I kind of skipped one line. We had Kevin Owens and Damage Control were also in that first round there. Sorry. I don't know. It's just kind of hard to know. So Damage Control was on SmackDown or on Raw. Oh, they were on SmackDown, right? So they did switch then.
SmackDown.
Got them away
They
from
switched.
Bayley. Got them away from. I like that. I like that they got that away from Bayley for now. Kind of give her space and let her have her own feuds. But they have the titles, so they can still flip flop for the moment. They'll have that match here this weekend. Kevin Owens is going to stay on SmackDown with his boy Randy Orton. Looks like they're going to do the RKO tag team, maybe RKO. I don't know. We'll see if that.
Oh wow, that's catchy.
Yeah, I saw someone did it. Like
So-
had the R, and then they put the big Kevin Owens KO letters.
So if you really think about it, Kevin
It's
Owens
almost
basically
like rated RKO.
Yeah. Kevin Owens basically taking a spot of Matt Riddle since he quit.
Yeah. So I like that. It looks like Punk's gonna stay on Raw.
They gonna shine that shit.
We got Stratton on SmackDown. I think, of course, he's feuding right now with Bayley, so they have that match that we'll talk about here in a minute. Hey, guess what? Braun Strowman is still on the roster, guys. I forgot about him, honestly.
I was shocked.
Big Braun Strowman. He's on Raw now. Evidently, I don't know what he was on before, but he is on Raw. I'm hoping for a Wyatt 6. Maybe he's in that. I don't know that they're teasing that at some point, so we'll see who ends up showing up and being involved in that. They split up. This is my favorite. I just now saw this. They split up Legado del Fantasma and LWO. Let's just give them a round of applause. I'm so, oh man, thank you. I've had enough of those two going at it over and over and over and over and over and back and forth, over and over. They finally, it finally showed that Carlito was the one that took out Dragon Lee. So now they've kind of made another feud out of that.
Thank God.
It doesn't say if Carlito is. I'm assuming he's not a member of the LWO anymore, guys. I'm just going to put that on the line. He's not mentioned here. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Shinsuke Nakamura to SmackDown. That's where he was, right?
No, he was Raw.
Was he?
Raw.
Okay. Drew McIntyre is going to stay on Raw. He's got to stay over with CM Punk. They're going to split them up right now. Naomi to SmackDown. Judgment Day stays on Raw. Now, something I noticed here in the Judgment Day listing, guys. Now, I don't know if this is because of Damian Priest. Could be because Damian Priest is a title, but they didn't list Damian Priest in the Judgment Day, and we've seen that kind of splitting here as of late. He's basically telling them that he doesn't need them. So there's going to be something coming down the pipe there. It's interesting that they're doing this now with Rhea on the shelf. We knew Rhea Priest kind of battle back and forth. Now he's kind of taken over the group with her gone. So that's interesting. We got
none of this is interesting. That's the
I
problem.
know I'm trying to move through it so then we can just overall recap. So I'm trying to get through this. It's painful. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven on SmackDown. Ilya Dragunov, Brandon, Dirt Sheet Brandon. Give me some. I've seen him a few times, but give me some background on him. What he's going to bring to Raw.
Man.
He can go. He's fun to watch. He's his character's built up a little bit too, but he's fun to watch in the ring. His several last PLE matches have all been really good. He's the one with the Don whatever Tony D'Angelo, that one left a lot to be desired, but that's just a real contrast of styles. But his matches with Carmelo and his matches with Trick and then Bron Breakker, all those just banger matches. He's very fun to watch. He's got his intensity is through the roof, and I've heard some rumblings of maybe him being the third new member of Imperium. So because there's a lot of history with him and Walter and Gunther, but
Interesting.
So that could be interesting. But I like if you tell me in about a year from now we get him and Seth Rollins on like a random PLE, sign me up.
Oh.
Like I would love to watch those two in the ring together. Him and Finn Balor, like those are the types of I want to see him with those types of guys. But he can go with anybody. Like I said, him and Braun Breaker, him and Baron Corbin, him and Trick. He could get the one that didn't work with Tony D'Angelo, but I think that says more about Tony D'Angelo than. But like him and Seth and him and Finn and him and Shinsuke, him and anybody like that, him and Logan Paul, like that. It'll be great.
I got a counterpoint for you, Brandon. I'm just going to crap over everything you just said. We could replace everything you just said with, man, Tommaso Ciampa is putting out match after match right now. He's doing that Johnny Gargano thing, and now he's
okay. So like you're just saying that on Barry Ilya. That's not. So that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get up to the main roster and do nothing because he has no independent personality, no size. He's going to be end up like Ciampa and Gargano, just doing nothing.
But that's not their fault. But I'm hoping with Triple H that's going to be different. I'm hoping, but we'll see.
Triple H is there, and we still haven't seen Ciampa do anything. We haven't seen Gargano do anything.
I would love to see that. They had some epic matches in NXT. Whew, man. I think that's something that needs to happen.
Man, Ciampa against Dragunov would be fun. Now you say something.
Then you got Pretty Deadly. It goes over to they're going to go to SmackDown.
Yes, boy.
New Day, Raw, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, SmackDown. Lyra Valkyria goes to Raw. Brandon, give us some background on her. I've seen her a few times. Is she still the champion?
She's not. She lost Here's all I gotta say about Lyra Valkyria and take it. Well, whether it matters or not, she's the one that took the belt off of Becky Lynch. Like that, she has that for like. So you bring her if they do it right. You bring her up and it can immediately say, "Well, Becky, I've already beaten you for one title." Like, I mean, obviously, she's not going to get a title shot immediately, but she'll always have that she beat Becky Lynch for a title. And so that says a little something. Whether that ever matters and they ever bring it up, they should. But who knows if, like Diggs will probably agree, they may never even tell us that.
Yeah. Sometimes they forget NXT existed, and sometimes they mention it. Just kind of depends.
If you have someone that beat Becky Lynch for a title, that should be, you should use that.
Yeah, it should matter. I agree. Then you got DIY to SmackDown, Final Testament, Raw, Blair Davenport to SmackDown, and Big Bronson Reed, Mr. Irrelevant, Big Bronson Reed. That fits him very fittingly. All right, guys.
Not really, because they did like other rounds off air.
Oh well, true. That's what they actually did. They always do the supplemental draft, where yeah. I don't know. We got who is this guy? There was some other ones that just kind of popped up on online. Oh look, Johnny Gargano. They got their SmackDown gear on in their Twitter. That's interesting. Like they actually got drafted, guys. Like they have their SmackDown hat. SmackDown shirt on. I mean, I don't know. I just wish there was something that we could add to this. And I really think if they would add NXT, it would really help it. Like, because NXT could, then it's a real competition. They got to really take the guys they want because NXT is going to take everybody they want. And I think it would add some intrigue somehow.
I know who's going to be a hot free agent when he come back from his fake injury, Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, so is the tribal chief.
Yeah, it's gonna take him a long time though.
What would be maybe better if they do with NXT in like kind of drafting? Do some instead of doing a draft that includes Raw and SmackDown. Throughout the year, just pick people every once in a while. Just do trades like a real sports league, and then your draft is only NXT people, like we see when NFL drafts from college.
I'm gonna draft Brandon a new microphone because we got to get you a new microphone. It's like you went away again and you were like,
my bad. So did you hear me or no?
A little bit.
No, a little bit.
Well, I was just saying, let's just draft NXT. Like, make that the draft like drafting college players.
Okay, I like that.
And do trades throughout the year through Raw and SmackDown like a sports league.
So you could trade. So technically, if you keep your roster, then Brandon, like I was saying earlier, then you would go this route. So Raw's got the first pick. Well, SmackDown really wants somebody. Hey, I'll give you Big Bronson Reed, and you take, and I'll take the number 1 pick. I like.
And let's don't do the draft on Raw and SmackDown. Let's just make it like a Saturday network, like on Peacock, just like an hour show. Like, let's stop doing it. Like, stop doing a draft pick, and then someone comes out for a match.
Yeah, they want the extra pop in the ratings, I'm sure.
It's boring, as Robert said. And I mean, I'm trying to generate ideas to be interesting, and y'all were talking about how we can make NXT as part of all this, but recognize they're developmental. You know how they kind of, they had 16 picks or whatever. Let's say after 12 picks, then NXT gets 4. So you got to get your people off the board, because then NXT can come in and say, okay, so you're not going to have Seth Rollins at NXT, because obviously that's not going to make sense. But you might have some of your developmental people like, hey, let's go and get this person. Let's go and get this person, and they can be redeveloped. But unfortunately, they're going to view that as a demotion, which it is a demotion. But at the same time, you got really good talent like Baron Corbin who go to NXT and they get reinvented, and now you're interested in them again after them not being interesting for a while.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the best things to do with Baron Corbin. I wanted him off my TV so bad. It was just
yes. He needed that bad. He needed that real bad.
Well, overall, I mean, I'm like with you guys. I don't like the way it currently sits. They need to adjust it. I was really hoping that we were really selling this new era, the Triple H era, but this was the same old stuff. I don't think maybe I've seen more drafts that were more exciting than this one, honestly, in past years. This really just didn't really do it for me. I mean,
I had one thing I liked from the draft. You haven't seen it yet, Brett, because you said you hadn't watched Raw yet. But the one thing is because you did a total story with it. They had CM Punk drafted right before Drew McIntyre to the same brand. They mentioned it. Pat McAfee mentioned it. And then Drew McIntyre did a promo about it, how it pissed him off. Then later in the night, Drew McIntyre comes out, starts talking trash to somebody. CM Punk's up top, taunts him. Drew McIntyre goes up there. Then CM Punk comes out and taunts him. And it's going to be a while before they face, probably SummerSlam at the earliest. I like that they're even with CM Punk hurt, they're telling that story and getting us ready for when that match finally happens. And they did the draft to build on it. That was my one positive from the draft.
Yeah, and Brett, when you watch Raw, I think they had one of the most fascinating angles for me in a while. The Logan Paul, Patrick Mahomes, Braun Strowman.
Oh yeah,
that was fun, and that's the kind of stuff you want to start seeing.
Yeah, I did. I think I saw
Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. That's genius.
But real quick, though,
the brass rings.
But real quick, I'm loving the fact that they doing the cameras fall into the ring and fall off. I love that.
Yeah, the camera angles.
Yeah, I've been a fan.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially like when Becky comes out like holding a mic, and taking like the camera with her and like.
That was awesome. They did it or not. Yeah, she took the mic from, and then she just went and started talking. She was like the interviewer.
Yeah,
that was great.
Was really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, my Carter Cowboy is about the race, the next race. So I'm gonna step off until he finishes.
All right.
East Texas is already killing it.
East Texas. Oh my Lord. That kid from Gilbert is freaking fast.
Yeah. Yeah, we grow them different here, Swaggy. It's okay.
I thought about y'all. That's what I said. I don't think watching this. That dude said, "Sure." I said, "Oh my God."
Yeah, don't let the goggles fool you. He's fast. That's that was one of the reasons they won state.
I'm here though today race.
Okay, all right. All right, so we've got. Does anybody have any final demolishing comments of the WWE draft? Anything else that you want to, Matt? Do you have any or anything else you want to slam about the draft? I know you want to.
Well, I want to yell at you, Bret, because you're trying to sell me last thing like, oh, it's going to be different. Trust me here. We're going to get interesting.
I was trying to be optimistic. I mean, I was trying.
Same old. It's even worse now because we're right after WrestleMania, where they intersperse the brands anyway. I think that's another one of the problems with the draft is WrestleMania. We have a clear kind of a. They blend anyways for WrestleMania. I mean, we had Roman on Raw right before WrestleMania, so you don't get true distinctions. Like when John Cena, like what Swaggy mentioned in 2005, we hadn't seen him on that show in years, and your big guys, you saw him on Raw last week or 2 weeks ago. So it's just maybe move it to after SummerSlam to where at least you started to rebuild brand consistency again. Man, it's bad.
I was just hoping that they were gonna maybe we see in several weeks we get some good feuds out of this that we don't know about now. Maybe there's some guys like we think that some of these are going to join other factions, and maybe there's something out of it that we don't see yet. But as of right now, I did not like this at all. I'm with you guys. This is just I could almost just come like do what I'm doing now, read the picks and just skip through that part and just watch the rest of the show and be okay with that. And that's not.
I mean, do you think Kiana James and Liv Morgan are about to draw money as a heel feud main event? I mean,
no.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do know.
I also wish they would do it after the Backlash pay-per-view because it kind of makes because certain things about Backlash, like, well, that person's not going to win because they got drafted here.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Backlash pay-per-view, in France, going to be in the middle of the day, which I think I'll be doing soccer during that time, so I'll be watching it not live. Probably, I don't know if anybody going to be watching it live.
Yep.
No, I'll have either baseball or softball playoffs.
Yeah, Swaggy, you're the only one. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I've been watching State Track. You sure right? Nope.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So kickoff show at 11 a.m.
You going to be watching the field events?
Oh, the field events first?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm watching Backlash. You're right. Thank you.
No field events for you. That's how you. Okay.
Nah, right. I just like to run.
Okay. All right. Well.
There they go.
We're going to start off with the card here. I don't know what order. If they, Brandon, Dirt Sheet, you usually know the order. Are they announced any kind of order yet?
Let's see. I kind of here's what I think. I think I haven't seen the order. I think.
All right, guys. I'll be back.
I think Kevin and Randy against the Bloodline will probably be first. I guess. But I really I really don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well. We'll start there and go up. I think that's probably the order here from just kind of glance. That's kind of what I thought.
The only thing I can gather is the main event's going to be AJ and Cody, and that's about it. Other than that, I have no idea.
So we got RKO versus the Bloodline, the Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. I really like what they're doing with this. I mentioned a little bit earlier. I've loved the whole Bloodline story. I mean, it's kind of carried WWE for the last few years, and every time I'm like, think that they're done making it interesting. You bring in somebody like Tama Tonga. I know they've got Jacob Fatu signed, I believe, and I don't think it's going to be long before they integrate him in there as well at some point during this time. I think the Bloodline needs this right now, and so for that reason alone, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton aren't going to be hurt by a loss here. The Bloodline really needs it to kind of continue on this new bloodline. They haven't come out and said it, but I think we all kind of know that Solo's pulling the strings now. I mean, it's either that or The Rock, and I guess it could be told later down the line. But right now, he's pulling the strings. The tribal chief is not. Paul Heyman's hanging out with him, I think, because he's more scared of him than anything else at this point. So I'm going to go with the Bloodline win this match here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bloodline Bloodline too. I think it's Tama Tonga. He just got there, and we're already throwing him in a PLE, and so it's going to be interesting to see that. But I think the Bloodline wins, and maybe Paul Heyman says call Roman Reigns again, and but Roman's not coming to France, so maybe we see Jacob Fatu here.
I just didn't know if they were ready to go ahead and throw him in there or not yet. I didn't
because I don't see the blood I think I picked the Bloodline just like you, but I don't think they win clean. We don't get Jimmy back yet, so and they're going to find a way to win dirty. So maybe it's Fatu, or I don't know, or something's got to happen for them to win, because I think they win.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm back. We lost.
Uh-oh. Oh, the DFW didn't pull through.
We finished second.
Swaggy.
Which race was it?
The boys 4A 200 meters.
Okay.
But our girls run in a little bit too for the state relay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are checking our way through Backlash, and I agree with everything y'all said. I'm not interested in this version of the Bloodline. I think I have no interest in him. I appreciate they're pushing him to the moon, but you got to do something. You just can't bloody up a couple of people and just be told you're great. You got to have that story. You got to have some.
He didn't just bloody him up, Matt. He ran him over with a car, Matt. Come on.
You didn't run him over with the car. He just hit his rental car, and then they're very mad about all of that. But I agree, the Bloodline's going to win. They're not going to win clean. I was more interested in the Nick Aldis, Paul Heyman kind of afterward, and where they're going to go with that. But right now, Solo and Tama, I have no interest in them, and I almost hope we can end this sooner than later, because I have no interest in this version of Bloodline. We got to do something, and probably we're going to see that something start with what Dirt Sheet Brandon has indicated, but whether it's member number 3 or something to do with Jimmy Uso, or maybe we get Jimmy and Jay versus the new Bloodline at SummerSlam, or we start building up to that. But right now, just no interest.
Okay, who you got, Swaggy?
I agree with what we on a Bloodline match.
Bloodline versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens.
I agree with Matt 100% on that. The Bloodline, the new Bloodline is boring. I'm not gonna lie, it's boring. I still don't know what the hell what is the MLT? MLT, what is it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it's boring. But match wise, they're gonna find a way to win. They're not gonna lose. There's no way that Tama Tonga lose in his first match. No way. But I think we're gonna see the debut of Jacob Fatu, who's gonna be the 3rd member, and we're gonna see something that's been teased. If y'all been noticing, it's been teased for a minute, and it's gonna finally happen. Paul Heyman is gonna get destroyed by Solo Sikoa, and he gonna completely kick him out, and that's gonna lead to a Roman Reigns comeback at SummerSlam.
Okay.
All right. We're here first. All right. Next match on the card is the Women's Tag Team Championships. The Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I think it's time to for the champions to give it up. I think they're pushing Belair and Cargill. I think here's where I think this is going. They're going to be the champs for a while. Eventually, they're going to lose. One's going to blame the other. We get a turn, and then we get that Cargill Belair, I say, dream match. I think they're 2 great athletes, great competitors in the ring, and I want to see them go. But I think right now, I mean, you get those 2. I don't see that the Kabuki Warriors have a chance. I think they destroy them and they take the tag team championships.
Let me add, Brent. Let me add one more thing to thanks for the other match.
Okay.
As you can see, Roman is pretty much on vacation. I mean, 3 years being champion. So This only fitting that Saturday we see something happen to Paul Heyman. So he also go on vacation because you got to think about it. He been on Roman for the whole 3 years. So it's time for him to take a break and chill also. So I definitely see something happen to Paul Heyman Saturday where he goes on vacation to like Roman.
Paul Heyman actually worked more than Roman Reigns. The Roman Reigns has been on vacation for the last 3 years anyway. I mean, how many shows has he worked? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, he was the champion, but I mean, how many times did he miss shows?
That's true.
So I mean,
that's all I want to say about that, though.
Paul Heyman does deserve a break. I will say that his character added a lot to it, and that's what kind of keeps me intrigued right now. Is you've got Paul Heyman. He's like doesn't know what's going on here. And then the other day when he tried to call Roman Reigns, he smashed his phone. I mean, I think you're right. I think that wouldn't be surprised if they attack him. He's gone and they return, and we get a face bloodline, the originals, the OGs, versus the new version at maybe a SummerSlam or some kind of a match down the line, and then that kind of builds up. The Rock kind of comes in with them. I could see all that, and then we get Reigns and the Rock at WrestleMania as kind of the conclusion of all that. But I don't know. That's why I'm intrigued, Matt, because I can see where this may go, and I'm really, really interested in that. Right now, I'm kind of interested just because we have a new character, and they've really sold him as this bad A just that comes in and just whoops people. And so I'm since he's never been in WWE, I'm interested. I haven't seen. I mean, I've watched a little bit of him in New Japan, not a whole lot, but he's come from a heel faction. He was a Bullet Club this whole time, and so I like what they're doing with him right now. I'm trying to give him time because, I mean, it's hard to when you've had so much success with a storyline that kept you intrigued that long for over that period of time. It's really hard to keep it going, and so I'm trying to give them a chance right now they're reinventing it, and so I think where it's going, I think it's going to be even greater once they get to that story. But it's going to be the long game. They gotta build these characters before we legitimately think that they can be the new bloodline, right? I mean, they have to start from somewhere, and so Solo's been kind of the punching bag or just the hit guy, and now he's sick of it. He doesn't like losing. He's sick of it. Now he's going to do it himself, and he's bringing in his another family members to try to build something better than Roman Reigns, and think he can overtake Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. And then I mean it's intriguing to me. I see storylines all over. It's just dripping with storylines, Professor.
It is. I mean, you've got that right, but I mean, already in Backlash, we've got them against Randy Orton, who is our number 3 pick for SmackDown, and Kevin Owens, who ended up being 5 or 6. So, who's the next step up after that? LA Knight. I mean, maybe you could do something, but LA Knight's going to need somebody to do that, and then you're at Cody Rhodes. I mean, like you're not slow playing this, and where's the progression going to go? I mean, we've all basically just given them the win over 2 of their top. I mean, this was one of the top matches at WrestleMania. You had Logan Paul and KO, and you had Randy Orton as probably your number 2, number 3 match at WrestleMania under the SmackDown brand. And now you're about to job them out to this new bloodline. Well, where's the next step up? World Championship? I mean, and we know Cody's not dropping anytime soon.
But it's the intrigue, though. They've got a plan. I'm sure they do. Because I've been this way before with the Bloodline storyline. I thought whenever, Sammy was out, I was like, well, that's going to be it. They've kind of, and then they had the whole Jay and Jimmy confusion thing. I thought they screwed it up whenever, Jimmy and Jay turned. Well, then Jimmy joins back up, but then they like, it was almost like Jimmy was under a spell and he couldn't get out from underneath Roman's thumb. And so they twisted it. And I thought for a minute it wasn't going to be good, but then I finally was like, okay, I like it's continuing. I like what's going. Like, so every time I think that they've messed up or it's kind of in lull, they somehow bring it back. And so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. They've been doing it the last several years, and I just feel like that they're gonna find some way to make you interested, Professor. They're gonna bring you back on the side of the Bloodline storyline. I just feel like you're gonna be back intrigued and back ready for the next show.
It's going to take probably till Royal Rumble 2025 before that's happening.
Right, I remember that when you were back telling us how great the storylines are here in about a month or two. Then we'll revisit this.
Uh-oh.
All right, so who you guys got? I have Bianca and Jade. Brandon, who you got?
Man, we were flip flopping so much. We were talking about Bianca and Jade, then you went back to the bloodline, and I think
we're gonna
Bianca and
that.
Jade.
That's the Swaggy boss's fault. He was the one that jumped us back on that one.
My bad. I brought you back, Brandon. My bad.
I think Bianca and Jade win.
Okay.
But one of the problems, Bret, and this is how he got off on that, is we're talking about our build. And, we all talked about on our WrestleMania pre-show, I think Swaggy predicted we're going to see the Jade Bianca breakup heel turn, might invigorate Bianca to go heel like this. So we're already basically penciling this in as Jade versus Bianca at SummerSlam. How are we going to get there? And obviously the only way we can get there is to probably give them the titles. So it's still kind of predictable, even though we might enjoy the payoff by that with Bianca versus Jade. But I think that's what's going to happen.
See, my theory of it is, I think Bianca and Jade win because, just like Bret said earlier, this will also get rid of Damage Control off of SmackDown, because Damage Control is now on Raw. So if you take the tag team titles from them, now they're no longer in the equation at all on SmackDown. Well, so that's why I got.
You're not supposed to be anyway. You know how it goes.
Yeah. So I definitely got Bianca and Jade winning. I don't see Bianca and Jade losing unless Naomi turns on them and calls them the championships. Keep an eye on that.
Well, Naomi's got her own business. That's actually our next match.
All right,
WWE Championship match will be Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time. I don't think it's yet. I really like what she does in the ring. Like I've said this. She's got the look. She's got the gymnastics background. She's got her character. She's got that character, and I've compared her before, but like an LA Knight type character. She gets a reaction. Some hate her, some love her. She's supposed to be a heel, but you've got fans that cheer for her. She just got it. I don't know. She just has that. She's got everything, the mic skills, the ring skills. She's got herself really established. I think the reason they got Naomi in this match is to take the pin. I think Bayley pins Naomi, and they continue the Tiffany Stratton Bayley thing a little longer. Maybe at some point Bayley, passes the torch, gives I know she got her WrestleMania moment. Maybe she gives that to Stratton and at some point down the line. But right here, I think Bayley retains and then pins Naomi.
Yeah, someday soon it will be Tiffy time, not this Saturday. I agree with you, Bret. I think Naomi's in this match to take the fall. Bret, you hadn't watched Raw, but Matt and Swaggy, you watched Raw, right?
Yep.
Did y'all hear the moment when they were talking about Tiffany when she got drafted between Cole and McAfee?
Yeah.
So because McAfee goes, what time is SmackDown? And Cole goes, Tiffy time. And McAfee goes, no, it's at 8 Eastern, you perv.
But McAfee is funny as hell, dude.
I agree with you, Bret. Stratton, that they really kind of. I'm surprised they put her in this match because they have kind of strapped a rocket to her back quickly, and they're putting it in this and they're going to look. But I like you said, putting Naomi in there to take the pin because we don't want to take.
It's the reaction.
Tiffany's first match just to be a loss. So
it's the reaction she's getting. I mean, honestly, she's getting huge reactions already.
It's similar to the LA Knight movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Professor?
Go for it, Swag. I'm on the middle, so maybe you'll talk me in one way.
No. I definitely got Bayley winning this match. There's no way Bayley loses her first title defense unless something real drastic happened. But I definitely got Bayley winning this match. And I'm looking for a heel turn for someone. Like Naomi Bianca and Jay all can't be faces. Somebody got to be a heel. You know what? There it is. Naomi. Naomi the heel. Naomi turns after the match, attacks Bailey, and it goes from there. So I got Bailey. Bailey to what's our move called? Well, she got like
early, and then she got the rose
yeah,
plant.
Rose Plant.
she gonna definitely hit Naomi with that, and she gonna win.
Well, I mean, the Tiffany Stratton reaction, like you've said, is definitive. It's loud, and given that how many wrestlers are on the roster right now who can't generate a reaction, especially on the female side of things, the fact that Tiffany is getting that reaction, my immediate thought was maybe they just go ahead and give it to her because you rarely ever see the title get pulled, and I think Triple H has always tried to do one or two things every card that's a little, because you got the betting lines and whatnot, and I think he's been making an effort to try to do one thing that's unpredictable each card, and to me this kind of falls under that. But I think y'all make a really good point about how they've got Naomi in the match to perhaps take the fall, but I mean that can go the other way, is that they could have Naomi in the match to have Tiffany win and have Bailey, not have to take a loss right after WrestleMania. So it could go either way. My gut tells me that Tiffany Stratton's going to somehow come out and win this match. And since we got to have some sort of differentiation, y'all have talked me back into going with Bailey, but I think now that I've thought about how Triple H is doing one thing every card to try to do something different, I think Tiffany's going to go ahead and get the title. I don't think she's ready, but I think the WWE universe is ready. And she's getting more of a reaction than Bailey is. So why not? Let her go. She can wrestle.
Hey, I like what you said there. And but I picked Bailey, but I did like your points there. The one thing I was thinking is, they just kind of shifted Bailey to be a face. So I don't know. But I was thinking maybe one thing they could do is have Tiffany use her finisher on Naomi about to win, and then Bailey come in and sneak the pin on. They said like Tiffany should have won, but I don't know if that's a heel move by Bailey. But does Bailey go back heel thinking, hey, y'all acting like y'all love me, but y'all love this person more? So they could. That's kind of what's intriguing about this match is I didn't know if I'd be excited about it. But there's so many different things they could do with it, even though it seems predictable that Bailey will win.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, to piggyback on what you were saying, you're so right, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why. Can you remember Triple H back in his wrestling days? Remember, Backlash, the champion can win at WrestleMania. I seen The Rock do it and lose it at Backlash. So you're right. Maybe it could be a situation, or maybe it could be a situation later on in the main event. We'll talk about that later.
All right. Teaser there, Swaggy. All right. We got the World Heavyweight Championship up next. We got Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. They just put it on Priest. I just don't think at this point. I think it's going to be a good match. I like Jey Uso. His reaction is also one of the better ones still. He's so over, but they're not gonna take the title off of Priest here. I could see something happening with the Judgment Day trying to get involved in this match, and maybe it makes Priest mad. And we've already seen the friction. They try to come out and redeem themselves, or they come out and they almost mess up and he gets angry with them, and the split continues to kind of grow. I don't know, but either way, I think Priest is going to pick up the win here over Jey Uso, but I think it'll be a really good match. Jey can obviously go in the ring, and Priest can too. So I'm looking forward to this match, even though I feel like we're kind of want to say these are predictable matches, like the professor said a while ago. I feel like these last two matches are just. I don't see how they can go the other way. To me, I'm going with Damian Priest.
Hey, I want to say something about this one because this is gonna be the one that I like. It's funny how I just talked about this. I said you're gonna be surprised, but I know what's coming up next. You gotta think about this. You got Jey Uso, who is hot right now, on fire, and you got Damian Priest, who's a new champion. Neither can take a loss right now. Neither can. because it'll knock both of they stock down. Damian Priest loses the championship that quick, then it'll probably ruin the whole Judgment Day. Jay Uso lose, then it's like, what's his point of even challenging? So this is what you're gonna get Saturday. And ladies and gentlemen out there listening, you heard this live from Swaggy. I'm predicting this. This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler.
Uh-oh.
What you're gonna get Saturday is this. You're gonna get a hard-fought battle that's gonna end in a Judgment Day interference, no DQ. You're gonna get a Judgment Day beatdown of Jey Uso, and you're gonna hear some music hit. It's not gonna be "I Was Born a King." It's gonna be Uso down since day one ish.
You know,
He's gonna run out there. He's gonna run out there and help his. He's gonna help his brother.
This one?
And yes, yep, you gotta hear that one. No, you ain't gonna hear that one.
Not that one?
No, you're gonna hear.
Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Sorry. What about this one?
You gonna hear that one.
You gonna bring this one back?
And the crowd is gonna lose their mind when they hear that song. He's gonna run out there. He's gonna help his brother, and that's how they're gonna get back. But watch this though. I can flip this also. You might hear that song also. Him run out there and calls his brother. Either way, that match is ending a DQ. Nobody's gonna win.
Okay.
It saves both superstars.
Yeah.
From a loss.
Okay.
And it also sets up Cash of the Castle. Drew McIntyre takes the championship at home.
Okay. Professor, you want to respond here to your fan here?
Yeah, I gotta see this.
Am I more over than Kiana James or what? I mean, what can you say? We got Gunner, Texas in the house.
Professor.
But I think Swaggy, as always, is right on this one. I think we're going to have some sort of non-finish. That they're not going to – Jey Uso, they put him as the number one pick for a reason. This is going to be a nothing match, and I think they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with Damian Priest because he's just not over. I mean, he's getting no reaction out of anybody right now. I mean, you got so many people on the card who are getting reactions. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk right now, like he talked about perhaps flashing the castle. LA Knight and Damian Priest, nothing. You know, I think Dominic Mysterio as kind of the cowardice heel is getting more of a reaction right now than Damian Priest. So I think we're going to have a situation. I don't know how you want to mark it. Damian Priest is going to retain. I don't know who's going to officially win or lose by disqualification. I don't know if you need that for technicality purposes, but Damian Priest.
I think that's probably the way.
Hey, I'm laughing real quick because y'all saw it. Bret haven't saw it yet. Brady, look, Brady, JD. I can't stop laughing thinking about it. Poor JD.
All right, so we all got.
That is the power. That is the power of Triple H. The fact that he could have Patrick Mahomes do heel stuff in Kansas City, and we all love it. It is just genius.
Jey Uso saved Patrick Mahomes.
Right. Brett, you get out of here. Go watch Raw, bro. Please, just go watch it.
I need to. I'm telling you, if hopefully my kids are still awake here and we can go watch it.
Well, and they're gonna love it because they probably love Logan Paul. And they probably love Patrick Mahomes.
Well, you're sponsored by Prime Energy over there. See, look, Brennan's.
Hey,
there you go.
Patrick had that big Prime chain. He was there, and I Show Speed was there.
I need you to
get KSI.
Third sheet. I need you to get us a sponsorship. You know, I think Logan Paul likes our show.
I'm all for it. We'll put the hydration station. They even had that on Raw the other night. We'll put a big Prime logo right here in the center of all four of us.
Yeah.
No.
We'll replace KO's logo and we'll put hey, next time we'll make KO wear the Prime costume like KSI and I Show Speed. We'll make KO wear the costume.
We should make Jeremy wear it if he ever returns. I think the professor is officially scared off
doing Hey, when we hear Jeremy's music, I mean, this place is the crowd's gonna pop big time.
What we got here? What we got?
Professor and something else.
Oh, there we go.
There he is.
There
you go.
Look at the famous professor. Look at that. I'm assuming this is under.
I like to think it's the famous Caspi right there. You got when you have Gunner Texas in the house. What can you say? I'm the one getting the selfie.
Okay.
It's not her.
All right.
Oh, is that the person that commented?
That's great. That's great. That's great.
That's awesome.
Oh man, that's
Hey,
man.
Gunner, Texas, they're dominating the state track meet too. So
Yes, they are.
That's probably why they do well in football too. Oh, we got it. She got a comment here. We got.
She's downplaying her greatness. It's okay. I like the humility. Mama sticks.
Main event time. Undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. I'm excited about this match as far as it being a high level match. I don't know. Trying to think, have they ever fought AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes? I don't think so. Well, not that I know of.
No, I don't think they have.
Because Cody Rhodes was always in WWE, and then he left, and AJ Styles came in. I don't think they crossed paths at that point. So, to me, this is a great match just for the name itself. Honestly, we kind of already know who's going to win this, or at least I believe that.
Man. Yeah.
I mean, the professor might want to. He might think that Triple H is going to be a pull something out of his hat and do something crazy in this match. But needless to say, Cody Rhodes wins, but I think it's going to be a heck of a match. And I'm looking forward to the excellent match, seeing what they do with it. Are they going to bring somebody else out? Are we going to have any? Or is this going to be just a one-on-one match with AJ Styles? Him and LA Knight and AJ Styles been going at it. He's a face. He shouldn't get involved, but who knows? They've been trying to go to each other's houses and stuff. So, I don't know. But Cody Rhodes is going to win. I'm interested to see where they go with Cody Rhodes. It's kind of like, are we just going to kind of keep him in neutral until he has a legit opponent that we feel like can step up to his level? I'm not sure.
Final boss.
Yeah, at some point. But that's we're talking, months and months down the line. You got to have him fight somebody, and I don't know who on the roster right now you could put in front of him we legitimately think is going to take the title off of him for them. Probably nobody. So that's
Bobby Lashley, probably about it.
I'm going to take a steel chair to Brandon before he talks because I'm going to ruin everything he's about to say. Because if you go back on the history of our podcast, you can almost predict what Brandon is going to say. As far as I remember him saying, like, we got Shinsuke and Seth Rollins. Oh, it's going to be a great match. It always disappoints. Io Sky against whoever. Bianca. Oh, it's going to be a great match, and it disappoints. And like you get all these really good wrestling pairs together. Oh, it's going to be such a great match. I'm excited about it. And it always disappoints, Brandon.
Not always.
You're about to tell us what a great match is going to be, and it's going to disappoint.
What about Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson? That didn't disappoint.
We're in the wrong organization for that.
I'm just saying, you said always. You didn't say which one.
WWE main events.
Okay.
Brandon's going to tell us what a great match this is going to be, and it's going to disappoint.
I agree.
I was not going to say that. But first off, I didn't ever pick the last match. I don't even think I talked about the last match. I'm not really interested in it, but I think Damian Priest wins.
Me too.
I never made that pick though.
I said he's cute.
Yeah, but Damian Priest will win, and then in this match, Cody will win. And I mean, they haven't. This was just kind of thrown together. It just. I mean, yeah, they had a mini tournament, but they haven't sold me on and then because the other night they couldn't sell it at all because they were doing the draft. They haven't sold me on this match at all. Like if you build up to it, I probably Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles match, but I think they kind of I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how they're going to work and we just saw Cody Rhodes in 2 epic matches. He's going to have this. I mean, this is going to be a drop-off because nothing can live up to what we just saw from him. We just saw him at WrestleMania in the 2 best matches of his life, and there's no way. This is a throwaway pay-per-view for a reason, and we want to see one thing from Cody Rhodes now, and that, like we said, the final boss, and he'll win this match, and we don't know what's next for him. I was hoping Gunther would get drafted to SmackDown because I thought that would be his next challenger. Because there's plenty of challengers for Damian Priest on Raw, and they kept Gunther on. They kept Gunther on Raw. I mean, is like Randy Orton next? But that, I mean,
that's they have a nice little history going with that one. At least you could tell a story with it, right, Professor?
Yeah, yeah. I'm really not interested in this match. I mean, it's the main event, so I mean, we got to. But we're gonna watch this pay-per-view, but there's nothing we're excited about, like we've already said. But we're gonna watch it because it's there, and who knows what will happen.
Yeah, I'm more interested in what's going to happen versus.
But nothing may happen. But we're going to watch to see.
Oh, we got another picture here. All right,
we're friends again, Brandon. We're back. Well, there we are. Right there.
Man, Buck and Derek making a cameo.
We're all together again. We're friendship on this one. I don't care about this match, and we know what's going to happen. Cody Rhodes is going to retain. I'm not even going to take up valuable podcast time on this one.
Me either.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sad thing with him right now is you're kind of, like I said, you're in neutral with him. It's like you're on a treadmill. You know, he's just kind of spinning in over and over and over. What are we going to do with him? I agree with Brandon. This was kind of thrown together. I do. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star match. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be an entertaining match. I think both guys can go. So I think it'll be entertaining. I'm not looking for it to be a Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson type match. But I think it'll be on WWE standards. I think it'll be a really good quality match. I mean, the quality match scale is a little bit. It's a little bit lower to me in WWE. No offense, but that's just the way it's been. You know, the matches are happening over in AEW. The storylines have been working better right now in WWE. Now, sidetrack that as we kind of wrap up. I just want to know what you guys think. What do you think about the Tony Khan angle right now with him actually? He'd said he would never get involved on TV, and now he is.
He trying to be Vince McMahon so bad.
You gotta try. I mean, what can you say? We'll see where it goes, but you gotta try. I haven't watched Dynamite, so I have no clue anything that.
Yeah, I hadn't watched Dynamite yet either. I was hoping to today, but got delayed some things. But probably maybe get to watch it tomorrow. But they're really. I mean, this last month they've been grasping at straws, trying to do different things, and some are sticking, some are not. You know, the pay-per-view is really good, and they got another one coming up soon. So we'll see how that goes.
Kenny Omega's return, so that'll help them.
But I haven't watched Dynamite. I know he returned, and then I also saw something happened with him already, and so I'm interested to see what happened and see. I mean, he may not be around much longer again. Who knows? I haven't seen Dynamite to know what exactly happened, but but if he's back, I'm excited.
Yeah, it will be.
I think the one thing that's just dumb to me is Chris Jericho names the Learning Tree. What the hell? I'm like, what?
Jericho comes up with
Swaggy the Learning Tree. That's what you need your name to be. Swaggy the Learning Tree.
I also saw Swerve's main event pay-per-view opponent. I don't know. I haven't watched Dynamite, so I don't know how it happened, but I don't know how they got there, and I don't know why it's happening because the person he's facing, we haven't seen much from of lately. So I'm intrigued to see how they even got to this and why we're getting this match.
They did rock, paper, scissors. I don't know. And there's one.
To your point, Bret. I mean, you saying that AEW is really grasping at straws right now, and I really don't understand why they don't need to. I mean, they can just kind of play this out. They're giving us good quality. I mean, their ratings aren't great, but I mean, the ratings are good enough to get $1 billion contract on, Max or whatever it is on Turner. So just let it go and let it happen organically. I don't think they need to force anything right now.
You just made a good point. I think WWE on the flip side of that is playing it cool and safe right now. Because when they get to Netflix, it's gonna be a game changer. They can cuss, they can do anything they want on Netflix. So that's what I think Triple H is gonna turn the heat up Netflix. So yeah, I think they just playing it cool right now, playing it safe. Just, Netflix, we're gonna see probably more of the Edge and Lita sex in the ring. Y'all remember that? With the bed and everything. We're gonna see everything on Netflix.
It's gonna be
everything.
Interesting.
I was reading something the other day. It said, with the things The Rock did, during his time, that kind of showed that the PG era is done.
So Netflix, we're gonna get a lot with Netflix. I can't wait for Netflix. I'll pay that $9.99, $10.99, whatever it's gonna be. I'll pay it.
Well, all you gotta do is talk to Bret, and you'll get it for free $99.
I don't know how that works. That may I don't know if it has those channels because Netflix doesn't have anything live right now, so something's gonna have to change as far as how they have their. So we'll see.
The one thing they did live was something I didn't watch, but I heard it was a disaster. It was like some, but then they are doing the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight live, so that'll be their first sport event live. I mean,
I wonder if that's kind of a test that they're doing.
So we all got to watch that to see.
Yeah. Okay. So, and it kind of reminds me of this. One other thing that's happened that I wanted to pick you guys' brains about. Vince McMahon officially has sold all his stocks now. He is completely out of WWE. There's rumors that he wants to start up his own company and buy a company or start up his own. I mean, is there anybody that will still work? Will he take Brock Lesnar with him? I guess. I mean, does he have a chance of starting anything up, and will anybody watch it?
Vince McMahon, if you somehow, some way watching this podcast, Swaggy, take some advice from me, please. You done it all. You done it all. You wrestled. You've been the boss. You've been the world damn champion, for Christ's sakes. You won the Royal Rumble. You won the Royal Rumble. You had an XFL. Hey, dude, sit down, relax, and enjoy your life. You done it. You're almost in your 70s, or probably is in the 70s. Let it go. Same thing I tell Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. Let it go. You had your moments. Exactly. You had your moments. You had your time. Let it go. It's a time to just say goodbye, and this is the time. So don't start your own group. Don't start your own show. Just relax, enjoy your money, and just chill. That's my honest opinion.
Professor, you got any thoughts on that? Or
I think that is exactly we need to be more like this and less like what he wants to be right here. It's screen sharing day. You got to be more like Sting. You just need to go out on top, say goodbye to the world, and just go fishing. Go be with Charles Barkley and Cancun. Go to that nasty water of Galveston, like Charles Barkley was talking about, and just go to the beach.
Well,
shout out to Steve Martin. I met that guy before. He's a wonderful guy. Him and Roger Strong. They're two great
plane with them.
Yeah, they're my boys, Roger Strong. And you want to hear something? Y'all heard a funny story real quick? That's why I met Roger Strong. I was at a hotel in Arlington. He was with an independent company. Then he was on his way to he was on the way to NXT, and the dude was out there like, we having a big wrestling event in there. I was like, really? Anybody I know? He said, you probably heard of this dude, Roger Strong. I was like, yeah. I know Roger Strong. That's one of my dudes. I'm waiting on him to go big. He said, I'd go get him for you right now. I was like, seriously? He said, yeah. So I waited. He come back out with Roger Strong. He like, this is one of your fans. Roger like, nice to meet you. He like, what's your name? Like, my name Roderick. He like, oh, really? Dude, Roger Strong gave me his phone number. I was like, by the way, I lost that freaking phone. But, yes, Roger Strong gave me his phone number. He was like, hey, he said, I'm on my way to WWE NXT soon. Call me up. I can get you to Florida. And I was like, and I lost the damn phone. But yeah, man, I met Roger Strong. I was so crunk. And so when he first came out with the Undisputed Era, I was like, Oh my God, I could have actually been there and meet my idol, Adam Cole, because I love me some Adam Cole. That's my boy. Bang bang. But yeah, I met Roger
Hey.
Strong, man. Roger Strong was cool. I was like, this dude is cool. Like I actually had Roger Strong phone number. Like I was like stunned that he just grabbed my phone and put his number in there. I was like, wow, yeah. Well, shout out to Roger Strong. He a real cool guy. And like I said, Steve Martin, great guys, great guys.
That's why he's the final boss. I don't got that. Can't compete.
Dirt Sheet, you got any scoop on the Vince McMahon thing? I just kind of read it. I don't know if it's actually will end up happening.
I saw that, but the one thing I also saw is that Nick Khan was selling some of his, and that he may have to go away for maybe being part, kind of a not being involved, but of course, if you cover it up, you're complicit too. So I hope that doesn't happen because Nick Khan has been huge for the company. Things he's touched had normally turned, things have really changed since he's been around. So hopefully he doesn't go away because I think he's a big part of the success they've had recently. But you never, the wrestling business is always revolving. So and WWE will always figure it out. So
yeah, they've got a good backing money wise now. So I think it, especially with The Rock kind of being involved in it now, I think it's gonna bring eyes on it. Just we've already seen that over the last few months. So yeah, I guess that's it's gonna do it for tonight's show. Off the Ropes, episode 25. We talked about the WWE draft and previewed WWE Backlash. So we'll see what happens this weekend. Hopefully everyone can tune in next week. We'll go back and talk about all the surprises that we predicted. Swaggy has some predictions. Maybe they come true. For Bret Swinny, Mr. Nedison, Dirt Cheap Brandon, the Professor Matt Diggs, Swaggy, the final boss. We'll catch you next time on Off the Ropes. Everyone have a great evening and a great rest of your week.
Believe all the hype, relentless from day to the night. You're paying me twice. Tell them my time is now. I'm back to been ready to fight. Into the struggle, the hustle, the pain. I see the smiles from the fake on their face. This is my time, ain't no time to waste. The warrior's ready, they're screaming my name. Taking it all. Settle the score. No, I will not take a loss. Taking it all. Kicking the door. Dropping you down to the floor. We taking it all. Ready for war. Better than ever before. Taking it all. Breaking the walls. My blood is hard. We taking it all. I am controlling the game. You should not step in my lane. We not the same. I am elite, know the name. The legacy runs through my veins. I am a king. I do not ever pretend. Straight to the top, I ascend. Say it again. Straight to the top, I ascend. I'm ruthless, I'm 10 out of 10. Ready for struggle, the hustle, the pain. I see the smiles from the fake on their face. This is my time, ain't no time to waste. The warrior's ready, they're screaming my name. Taking it all. Settle the score. No, I will not take a loss. Taking it all. Kicking the door. Dropping you down to the floor. We taking it all. Ready for war. Better than ever before. Taking it all. Breaking the walls. My blood is hard to the core. We taking it all. I have been destined to win. Alpha Omega the end. Let it begin. Give you a scope through my lens. I do not follow no dreams. You see the light. You can believe all the hype. Relentless from day to the night. You're paying me twice. Tell them my time is now. I'm active and ready to fight. Into the struggle, the hustle, the pain. I see the smiles from the fake on their face. This is my time. Ain't no time to waste. The warrior's ready. They're screaming my name. Taking it all. Settle the score. No, I will not take a loss. Taking it all. Kicking the door. Dropping you down to the floor. We taking it all. Ready for war. Better than ever before. Taking